Hi. Learning to ride a motorcycle can be a very scary thought for many people. However, having some proper gear and some knowledge of the motorcycle beforehand help alleviate those fears. So today I'm here to talk to you about the gear you might need for riding and to talk a little bit about braking. So let's get right into it. So first of all, you're going to need a helmet. And you want a helmet that's DOT certified. Also, one thing to remember about your helmet is that if you drop your helmet from about this height or any height, right from here, it's possible to crack all the insulation inside that's going to shelter your head. And that means your helmet's no good. So you got to take really good care of it, okay? This helmet is a closed face helmet, but it converts into an open face helmet as well. And it also has a visor. This one has a feature. It has sunglasses that pop in and out, and they are safety rated as well. So in case you get a rock, you're not going to get hurt, okay? I like a closed face helmet myself because I don't like getting hit with rocks. I've been riding and you have rocks that come off of trucks and they come and they hit you in the face. And it's not much fun to get that. Or a bee can fly in there and sting you or anything like that, right? That's why I prefer something like this myself. I'm riding in town and I want an open face. I just flip it up like that, okay? Now along with that, you want to have safety glasses. Especially if you have an open face helmet without the visor and stuff, you want safety glasses so that if you get a rock coming off a truck and you're going at 100 kilometers an hour, it's not going to take your eye out, okay? So make sure you have safety glasses that are high impact. I also wear some kind of bandana or something like this. And what I use this for is if I have my visor up and my helmet up, the face shield, then I'll put this on to protect my face. Also, it protects the back of your neck because if you're riding for a long time, you could get a really bad sunburn if you're riding for 2 or 3 hours at a time. So it's always a really good idea to have something. Also, if you have an open face, you can buy a neoprene face mask that will give you some protection at least from rocks. I know some old riders that are converting more to closed face helmets for that reason because they've had bees and everything else sting them. Not much fun. As far as shoes, you want some kind of steel-toed shoes with high tops, mostly because you're going to be on shifter a lot and it wears on your feet a lot. It's way more comfortable to have some kind of steel-toed in there so you don't feel it. Gloves, you want leather gloves of some kind, something that's sturdy so that it protects you from the bugs, protects you from rocks that are they're going to hit you, you're going to get them. And also, if you ever have an accident, it's going to give you some protection. And these ones here go over my jacket so I don't get any bees or anything up there. So next, I'll go on to the coat. So this is the main shell of the coat. And it has body armor in it. And this is the light part of it. There's armor in the back, there's armor in the arms, shoulders. And this is what the armor looks like, is a shoulder piece of the armor. It's just a tough rubber so that if I ever have an accident and I'm sliding on the road, I'm not going to get as hurt. And whether or not you get an armored one, it's totally up to you. You can get leather coats with armor or without, whatever you like to get. This is the outer shell of the coat. This is if it fits on the outside of it, zips in. You can see that. And then you put this on when it's a little bit colder. This is more for spring riding and for fall riding. Okay? And as well, it has a liner to go inside both these coats. And that's for winter, like going for fall riding and spring when it's cold again. Okay? And whatever jacket you choose is totally up to you. But I would recommend always have a helmet. That's your most important piece. Okay? Shannon, what kind of coat did you buy? Are you buying a coat? Have you bought one yet?
I think I'm going to go with the leather.
A leather.
Yeah.
Are you going with armor or not?
Maybe just a thicker leather.
Thicker leather.
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of helmet are you getting?
Definitely full face.
You want full face.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it protects you way more from the bugs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I found that too. I've been riding and found that you'd be surprised what kind of rocks. If you think about when you're driving your car and you get rocks on your windshield, that's what's coming at you on a bike, except you have no protection. Okay, so let's talk a bit about braking. So, Shannon, what tire do you think you have more braking on? Your front or your rear?
Possibly both. Maybe more so the rear.
Okay,
Or the
well,
front.
you actually, correct. You actually have 70% braking on your front or more. And here's the reason for it. So, when you're driving along on your bike, do a little bit of a bike. Here's me on my bike. Now, when your inertia is driving you forward, okay? Now, when you're braking, what happens is the inertia comes onto the front tire right there. And so what essentially happens is the rear tire will lift up and all the force comes onto the front tire more. Now your bike, you don't have to worry about your bike actually flipping over on you. That's not going to happen. What's going to happen is the shocks are going to absorb the energy, and you're going to brake harder on your front and you're going to brake on your rear as well to slow yourself down. But essentially, all the power for braking is on your front wheel. So you want to get in the habit of using your front brake. Now, when I first took my course, they didn't want me to use it as much because the front brake is so powerful. But as you become a more experienced rider, you find lots of power on that front. Okay, now you got to be careful braking in curves. If you're going around a curve, you don't want to brake. Okay, what you want to do is you want to go into the curve at the speed you're supposed to be going in at. If it says 60, then gear down to 60. Because the problem when you're coming around a curve is that the inertia is taking away your traction for braking because your bike's laid over a bit. So if you do need to brake, say there's something in the road or a vehicle ahead of you is slowing down, brake slightly and try to get your bike upright before you apply more braking. Try to get upright. Okay? I don't know. Hopefully that makes sense to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's super important. Now, if you're ever riding and you have to make an emergency swerve, what you're going to do is you're either going to try to do the swerve first, and then brake, or you're going to try to brake first and then swerve. Because if you try to do both at the same time, you're probably going to dump your bike. So it's very important to try to make sure that you're always in control, okay? Another point is that for braking, always leave enough room between you and the guy ahead of you. Always be thinking, the guy ahead of me, if he stops, how can I stop? You've got to think about that. So if he's 10 feet in front of you, and depending on the speed, that's how you decide that, right? You always want to make sure you leave enough room. Okay. So Shannon, if you were coming on a curve, would you brake on a curve ever or not?
No, just go into the curve.
Right, at the correct speed, right?
Yeah, and braking either before or after if you need to.
Yeah. It's okay to brake in a curve if you have to.
Yeah.
Only if you have to, but you want to be at the speed that you should be going into it. And that's all, riding a bike is all about scanning ahead so that you can get into the proper gear or brake properly. All about that. So to conclude, we definitely want, you want the proper gear, you want the jacket, you want the helmet, you want proper boots, you want proper gloves, you want some safety glasses, and you want something to protect your neck, okay? Also, you want to make sure that you're always in control of your bike. And if you know how to brake, you're going to be 100% going towards that goal of being safe on your bike. So I want you to really think about this as you go to make your purchases. Purchase everything to do with safety, and don't look at always being Mr. Cool, because sometimes that's not the best thing. Thank you very much for coming.